And howdy. Welcome, my friends. Another busy news day on the Chris Salcedo Show on Newsmax TV. The Freedom Caucus is more than a little worried about the inaction from the Department of Justice as it pertains to the election. They are speaking out today. We'll bring you the latest in a live report. Plus, the legal fight rages in contested swing states. We'll focus in on Michigan and Georgia coming up in mere moments. Jordan Seculo, in the meantime, part of President Trump's legal team, is also here to brief us on the various legal challenges and the probability the Supreme Court will weigh in on the fraud, threats, and coercion allegedly deployed by Socialist Democrats in the last election. Congressman Brian Babin is also here to weigh in on the distribution of the China virus vaccine. Plus, we'll ask him about reported caravans of foreign nationals who are eagerly awaiting a Biden occupation of the Oval Office so they can illegally flood into the United States without opposition. And no week is complete without some common sense chit-chat from Diamond and Silk. But I want to begin by speaking directly to you, the Chris Salcedo Show audience. I want you all to know we've been reading your emails. Now, we can't respond to every one of them, but we do try to read each and every one of them. We have heard the concern in your voice when you call into the Chris Salcedo Show in the mornings. We know the majority of the press couldn't care less about your concerns or fears. In fact, many leftists in the mainstream media and in Congress delight in your dread. They were the ones who encouraged and covered up for months of violence our nation was subjected to at the hands of liberal zealots. They were the ones who sought to defund your protection, the police, so that their militants could threaten or harm you, your family, and your community. Only crazy people want socialist Democrats like that in government. That's the no-brainer sentiment we explore in tonight's preamble. President Trump spoke from the White House in a recorded message yesterday. One of the points he focused on was the un-American conduct of left-wingers in America.
In Detroit, everybody saw the tremendous conflict and the horrible way that the two Republican canvassers were treated, so horribly, because they wouldn't vote when they saw that 71% of the precincts didn't balance.
Those Michigan canvassers were threatened, insulted, and berated into certifying an election they suspected was fraudulent. But this is who and what today's Democrats are: intolerant, violent, and anti-American. The party of Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, AOC, Ilhan Omar, Rashida M.F. Tlaib. They are left-wing thugs. Hell, Schumer openly threatened two Supreme Court justices on the steps of the High Court simply because they might rule differently than he thought they ought to. Is it any wonder that Democrat socialist supporters would allegedly treat an immigrant woman of color who was only doing her job like this?
I showed that ballot in the QVF. After I searched the voter, I showed the signature on the QVF file and also the signature on the envelope. Totally different. Totally different.
The signatures were totally different?
Yes.
Who did you show that to?
To Mr. Chris Thomas. And
what did he say?
He said, "Oh, that's okay. Let it go. Just let it go. That's fine. Okay, let it go."
So how would you describe how they treated you and how you reacted to it?
Oh, it is. They treated me like a criminal. Humiliated me, harassed me. So intimidating. I mean, I couldn't. It was so bad.
Imagine you are that woman coming to America where free and fair elections are rumored to happen, a place where people are not supposed to threaten and intimidate other people because they disagree with their political views. That's who these socialist Democrats have devolved into. Beijing Biden and his merry band of Marxists are determined to never lose another election, and they'll use cheating, violence, threats, and coercion to achieve that goal. And if you dare speak up, if you dare demand a free and fair election, they will destroy you.
But why is it that we're not having more people come forward? I mean, it seems like if there was all this widespread fraud that, we'd have dozens and dozens of people.
I'll tell you why. My life has been destroyed. My life has been completely destroyed because of this. I've lost family. I've lost friends. I've been threatened. My kids have been threatened. I've had to move. I've had to change my phone number. I've had to get rid of social media. Nobody wants to come forward. They're getting threatened. Their lives are getting ruined. I can't even get an actual job anymore. I can't. Because Democrats like to ruin your lives. That's why.
All right.
Socialist Democrat policies, they are ruinous to any nation. They're violent and inhuman thugs. They are ruinous to individual Americans' lives. Don't turn to Mitt Romney, though, for help. Don't turn to FBI Director Christopher Wray. Don't look to H.R. McMaster. Don't turn to former Speaker of the House who sits on the board over there at Fox. They are not interested in helping you. It seems the Surrender Caucus is perfectly content to let socialist thugs in and out of government take care of you Trump supporters for them. So I don't blame any of you for not wanting to open the doors to the People's House to the likes of the violent people of Antifa and Black Lives Matter, the very same people who now run one of the two major political parties in the United States. Sadly, our government will be littered with those very same people if socialism returns to the White House.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.